We have results from last night's election, and some golf and marina fees could be on the rise in Barnstable. We have details on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, November 9th, 2016. I'm Sarah Mantle. Democrat Julian Cyr won a tight race for Cape and Islands State Senate, defeating Republican Tony Schiavi. Republican Will Crocker won the second Barnstable State Representative seat, defeating challenger Aaron Kanzer. Sheriff Jim Cummings has won re-election, beating competitor Randy Azzato. And in the 9th Congressional District, incumbent Democrat Bill Keating will keep his seat. In race 4 County Commissioner, voters re-elected Mary Pat Flynn, and Republican Ron Beatty edged out Democrat Mark Forrest for a seat on the board. Massachusetts voters overwhelmingly voted to legalize recreational marijuana. The ballot measure received a pretty high percentage of votes. Voters also voted to expand the charter cap. Issue 3 passed as well with 60% of the vote, and Massachusetts voters opted not to add an additional slot parlor in the state. Some marina and golf fees could be on the rise. Town manager Mark Ells held a public hearing on the proposed fee increases this afternoon. Director of Marine and Environmental Services Dan Horn talked about the proposed fee increases and why they are necessary.
What we are recommending within our marina enterprise accounts are changes, some modest changes to a few of our fees. The reason that we're making this recommendation actually for all three is to reduce the amount that we rely on surplus to help balance the budget. If you remember in last year's budget process, it was noted that because of recent bond debt increases for a few projects, a number of projects, that fees were projected to increase. So we took a look at all our fees. We met with Mr. Milne. We talked about different ways of, increasing revenue, help offset the cost of, doing some of these projects. Some of those projects that we have in the pipeline are dredging down at Gateway Marina, which I'm happy to say we should be starting very shortly. We have a bulkhead at Prince Cove that needs replacement. And down the line, we have short-term repairs at Bismore Park, as well as a long-term probable replacement bulkhead project at Bismore Park. So all these are to help offset those type of costs. Specifically, what we're recommending is parking at the marina at Prince Cove. Right now, we have a fee of $8 per vehicle. It's $16 if it was like a truck and a trailer, so it's $8 per vehicle. And the proposed fee is $10 per vehicle. Transit parking, for a transit parking pass at Bismore Park, we currently charge $25 for a parking pass, and we're recommending that go up to $50. As it is now, what we do with our slip holders, those that we have contracts with, they get one parking pass for that boat, and then we will sell others limited amount depending on the need per boat, perhaps for their crew or for their captain. Sometimes the owner or the slip contract isn't necessarily the one running the boat. And lastly, we are recommending the use of the offloading zone at Bismore Park to go from $25 per use to $35 per use, or an annual fee of from $500 up to $650.
Director of Golf Operations Bruce McIntyre talked about the proposed golf fee increases and why those are necessary.
Regarding fees for the Barnstable Golf Division for 2017, or for calendar year starting 2017, there are a number of changes that we're looking for, and I think it's important for people to understand that over the last, I went back to 2010, we've been on an every other year increase of some sort. This follows suit with that, and in 2016 there were no fee increases in the golf division. As an enterprise fund, it is our duty to fulfill the town's obligations with debt service, administrative support, as well as covering the operating budget and capital improvements. Next year, Old Barnstable Fairgrounds will have its 25th anniversary, and Hyannis Golf Course will be 53 years old. And with the age of the properties, we noticed that there are a lot of capital needs, there are a lot of improvement needs, and as time has gone on over the last few years, the golf division has absorbed minimum wage increases, health insurance increases, as well as a lot of unforeseen expenses that have come along with some of the aged infrastructure that we have. The golf management team is made up of myself, Mary Hallway, the head professional at Old Barnstable, Jesse Scheckman, the head professional at Hyannis, Chris White, our director of maintenance, and Nancy Beaucamp, our financial supervisor. We had a number of meetings prior to discussing this with the golf committee. We brought these items to the golf committee and initiated conversation in June. In July, we had a workshop at the July Golf Committee meeting. In August, I gave a formal presentation to the committee based upon all the information that we had discussed and worked on over the several months prior to that. There's a lot of information here. There are several changes. We went back in the September meeting, and the golf committee voted unanimously to support and approve these recommended rate changes. And if you'd like, I can go through each individual change, and we'll start right on annual pass holder fees for residents and non-residents. For 2017, an annual resident pass holder is a current fee of $910. We're proposing $950, or a $40 change. For resident additional family pass members, currently is $760. We're proposing $790, or a $30 change. Resident super senior pass holders 80 and above, we are freezing that at $500, and there's no change. Non-resident annual pass holders currently is $1,210. We're proposing $1,265, or a $55 change. For young adults 18 to 30 years, non-student, the current rate is $535, and we're proposing a rate of $556, or a change of $21. Annual junior and or students under 22, the rate is currently $250, and we're looking to raise that to $260, or $10. Approximately all of the rates that I just mentioned represent a 4% increase. Over time, as I said, with the every other year increases, it's averaged out to about 2% per year. We look at these increases is helping to keep up with the cost of doing business. Today is a perfect example. We had a furnace in Hyannis Golf Course that heats the function room. Completely gone. It's probably 40 years old. It's had long since its life expectancy. It's not budgeted, but we're going to have that fixed. So this helps us absorb some of those expenses. To go a little further, annual driving range fees. Pass holders have a current fee of $225, and we're proposing to raise that to $235, or a $10 increase. Additional family pass holder is $175, and we're proposing $180, or an increase of $5. Non-pass holder public, which is anybody that can get a range permit and come use our ranges, whether they golf there or not, is currently $250, and we would go up to $260, or $10 per year.
Town Manager Mark Ells will take the fee increases under advisement and expects to make a decision in the near future. If approved, the fee increases would go into effect in January. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 8 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Airport Manager Bud Brialt. We will have a special segment in honor of Veterans Day. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannell.